In this particular dream the Lord gave me, there was a family that consisted of a man and a woman alone in their home with no power, no electricity. Out of nowhere, they hear shuffling outside. They run to make sure the windows are closed and doors are locked. They get to their back door and there's a woman outside banging vigorously on their door, trying to break in forcefully to the point where the man and the woman on the inside had to press up against the door to keep the mad woman outside from entering in. When all of a sudden, the woman outside stops. The man and the woman look out their window towards the balcony and looking in horror as they see the woman hanging from a rope dead. They realize she had committed suicide and killed herself. Next, the scene turns to a mob of angry people traveling on foot in search of food. They stop at the house of the man and the woman. The man comes out with a paper bag of herbs and explains to the angry mob that this is all the food he has to give, and begins to say, "But I have something better for you," and begins to witness to them and tell them to turn to Jesus to be saved. As soon as the guy begins to say these words, the mob of people refuse to hear and turns and walks down the road angrily on to the next house. The interpretation that the Holy Spirit gave me of this dream was that something huge had occurred which affected the entire nation and world. I believe it could have been either the dollar had collapsed and completely lost all value so the people couldn't buy or sell, or there could have been a solar flare that knocked out the entire power grid and there was no power anywhere. The angry mob of the dream were on foot and there were no cars on the road, which revealed to me that the only means of transportation would be by foot. The angry mob was also in search of food, which revealed to me that the worldwide famine will be so great and horrible that people will begin to lose their minds. Many will become panicked and begin threatening others, just as the mob in the dream, and stealing their food. I believe many will go mad and commit suicide because of the famine. But the greatest interpretation that the Holy Spirit gave me from this dream is that those who are true Christians and who walk closely to Jesus Christ will be protected and provided for. I say this because the Christian man and woman in the dream appeared to be healthy and at peace and not panicked for food at all. The man was even trying to give away the little herbs he had, which was really all he had. This tells me that they were being fed somehow, and I believe God was miraculously feeding them food that was only probably enough for the two of them because of their faith and obedience to God. So, church, prepare yourselves spiritually. Walk closer to Jesus Christ than ever before, because he is the only one that will be able to protect you in this tribulation. If you are a loyal and devout, obedient child of God, I believe he will provide for you and protect you even in the midst of great tribulation in the world, just as he provided for the Christian man and woman and protected them from the angry mob. Because, church, as the birth pangs of the tribulation intensify, I believe great famine and poverty will come to pass, and people will panic, become fearful, and lose their minds. I believe people will begin to kill for food, and you will need God's protection from this, but only in his perfect will and in obedience to his word will you find this. Church, I know these things will come to pass. There will be great famine and poverty in the land during the times of tribulation. And I'm not saying these things just because the Lord revealed them to me in a dream. I'm saying this, church, because the scriptures say these things will happen. And I believe every word prophesied in the scriptures will be fulfilled. So take heed to this warning and prepare yourselves spiritually by getting closer to Jesus Christ.